Today we're going to be talking about Solana, the recent price action, what might happen next, and I also have some alarming news, guys, that we are going to have to go through. And this isn't something that we wanted to see, but with that said, I've also got Tyler Hill here, you can see looking super awkward, and we are going to be going through everything you need to know about Solana, because my man doesn't do anything but look at the Solana chart. And just before we do jump into that, guys, I want to remind you that there is a link down there in my description to my Patreon. Just yesterday, we had one of the biggest trades of the year happen in there. The initial post from this, it was on Pump Fund. We got around 100x from where we sit right now, and a 7 or an 8x from the open market post that I did just afterwards. So absolutely incredible moves there. So if you do want a place to see my personal trades, and also if you are someone who wants to see not daily, but when there is opportunity for leverage trades, we do also have traders in this group that have been proven to be doing very, very well. So you can get a link to the Patreon down there in the description. And if you do want an exchange to trade on, you can see we've been printing some amazing gains here on the channel. There is a link to MARGEX down there where you can get $10,000 of deposit bonuses, plus no KYC or VPN required for this. So no personal details, trade from anywhere in the world, and let's jump into it. And we can see here, BlackRock says the Sol ETF is not happening in the near term. So let's see what they have to say.
And I am curious, I mean, you've got Bitcoin, you've got Ether, you're leading the market there. Are you done? Are we going to see a BlackRock Solana ETF, for example? What's next?
Not in the near term. So we really look at the investability to see what meets the criteria, what meets the bar to be delivered in an ETF. And for us right now, both between investability considerations and also what we hear from our clients, you know, Bitcoin and ETH definitely meet that bar. I think it will be a while before we see anything else.
And
Now, as you guys know, I think that the ETF news for pretty much Bitcoin, Ethereum is all great, but it's just by the news events. That's all they are, right? That's not going to change the fact that Solana still has the opportunity to go up. My price targets, right, for Solana in my bullish thesis is for Solana to be what Ethereum was in the last bull run. Ethereum was like 400,000 or 400 million. Let me make sure I'm not talking absolute nonsense here. Oh, it's 400 million now. Last bull run was 550 billion, sorry, I'm saying million, 550 billion. And I think that that sort of area is possible, right? That's the possible area for Solana to reach. Ethereum, I think, is going to go much higher in this bull run, and it's possible that Solana reaches this. Now, for Solana to reach that, it's not that huge of a move, right? It's less than a 10x for that to happen right now. If we do jump over to Solana, 400, 500 billion for Ethereum in the last bull run. Solana right now, 84 billion. So we have, you know, a 5x, 6x, 7x for the highest possible point, in my opinion, that Solana could go. Now, I'll be taking profits from Solana much sooner than that. Probably when we break 200K, I will take 200K. What am I talking about? What's going on? $200, I will probably take some profits. As you know, I have been trading Solana here on the channel. Pretty much perfect trade here that we had. We got in super low at $124 here, and I've been taking profits all the way, right? We've got $2,000 of profit left in this trade. It's a $5,000 trade. This was a $100,000 position that I was slowly taking profits from. And as you guys know, what I do is I hedge my spot trades with my leverage trade. So if I think something's going to be really bullish, then I get involved in a leverage trade and I dollar cost average into my bags in the spot market. That way, when we move up like we have now, I don't have to worry about my spot bag. I can bank my profits from my leverage trade. That way I stay unemotional in the spot market and I can hold it for a long term. That's how I like to do it. I'm not telling you guys what to do. You need to go out and do your own research. But just today we did talk about a Solana trade here on the channel. I recently opened it. You can see right now it is in a little bit of a loss, but that's okay. We're waiting to see if this pullback that's happened ends up being a nice support region. You can see back here, it works as a resistance, and right now we're playing with it right now. So that's the opportunity that I saw here, and hopefully we bounce from here. If not, I have a very tight stop loss below recent lows, just in case, and that way maybe we get it wrong, but we're making the best of the opportunity in the market. And again, I don't have to worry about my spot bags. If the market goes down, I've already taken profits again from my leverage. So that's what I like to do here. I do think that the ETF news not happening for Solana isn't much of a big deal. I think we can easily go to where Ethereum went without that, because Ethereum did it without the Ethereum ETF. And if anything, with the ETF, we're not even where we were in the last bull run. Now, this all has to happen with altcoin season coming back, okay? Okay, guys, people have to be bullish on the altcoins, and they're just not bullish on the altcoins right now. We see that in Ethereum. We don't see it as much in Solana, but we see it in most of the altcoins in the market right now. It's very much a Bitcoin season. And if you do have the bulls, this is your opportunity to get the market when it's fearful. Once Bitcoin, once the altcoin market and the crypto market breaks out of Bitcoin season, we go back to altcoin season. There's not going to be much opportunity left. Now, that's not to say that buying Solana now, buying altcoins now is definitely going to pay off, but it's better to accumulate in these moments in time than it is to accumulate in all-time highs, right? The people who hate the market the most are the people that accumulated in all-time highs. Their friends convinced them to jump into the market. They were buying Bitcoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin and altcoins up here, if not in the last bull run. Then the market pulls back. Altcoins have pulled back significantly more than Bitcoin. They're lagging behind. And those are the people who are in the comment section who are angry. Those are the people who think crypto is a scam, all of that sort of stuff. And that's not to say that some crypto is definitely a scam, guys. I don't think Solana's a scam, but you guys need to choose. Maybe you do think it is. Now, I want to bring my friend Tyler Hill into the mix here. I'm thinking, in and around that price point for Ethereum in the last bull run. That's kind of my thing. I think bull case, this bull run, let's call it a 5x from where we are right now. I'll start taking profits above that $200 region when we start breaking the highs, slowly taking profits out of those positions and ride it. What are you thinking?
Yeah, it's funny because whenever we talk about Solana all the time, we always talk about the fact that we all have a same rough areas to where we think Solana can get to, but it's all for different reasons, right? So yours is more of a fundamental reasoning, just the sense that, okay, where Ethereum got to last time, Solana is following in similar footsteps in terms of growth adoption. It's actually going a little bit better just because from an ecosystemic perspective, Solana is better and makes more sense. It's cheaper, but it's not as reliable. And so those kind of things balance it out. But from that degree, it is still on track to hit where Ethereum did. But my thesis has always come from the fact that if you are looking at it from a technical perspective, all signs point to a Solana of $400 to $600. There's realistically no fundamental reason when you're looking at the charts for Solana, which we've talked about multiple times here on the channel, that it can't be a $500, $600 asset. And when you align that with the fundamental thesis, again, you have a situation in which a $500 Solana seems reasonable. Now, I think we go higher, right? I think $600 is very possible. I think $650 is very possible. But I know psychologically what happens to Solana once we hit $500. I know shit starts to get crazy. We're maybe in a situation where we don't even reach those highs that we could because of the psychological things. And so because of that, you can't really know, but I definitely think over 450, 500 is very possible. Now, for the ETF news, nothing burger to me, honestly, for a few reasons. One, Grayscale has now had two launches, right? Two launches of these ETFs that haven't really gone to the degree in which they thought they would, right? They thought the Bitcoin ETF immediately was going to be better. They thought the Ethereum launch immediately was going to be better. They both went decently well. Definitely, I would say the Ethereum one's gone better in terms of inflows on a weekly, bi-weekly basis. But one way or another, they've not gone to what they thought they would be. I think they thought things would be much more exciting, much more crazy. The assets would result better. It's just not what's really happened. And so, in my opinion, going forward, it wouldn't shock me if they start taking a bit of a different approach. They might actually be looking at Solana as an ETF, maybe sometimes towards the end of the year, without wanting to say too much, because they don't want to put themselves in the same situation that they've been in the last two times. That's one. Secondly, another reason I don't think it's important is quite simply just because these companies are always late to the party. Bitcoin and Ethereum were established the last cycle. They were established as major players last cycle. Solana is not, even at this point, it's just establishing itself as a major player and showing that it is reliable, that it is getting better, and that it is something that people can actually trust and build. And obviously, when you're looking at an ETF, you want to remove as much risk and volatility as possible because those clients don't play the same game we play. They're not in the same world that we're in. And so Solana is just, it's not at a spot to where it's proven to them that it's as good as it is. And so to me, I think that's bullish because we're in a situation now where we are still early to some degree, even though maybe from a price perspective we're not. I would even dare to say that by the time they do have a Solana ETF out, we're probably towards the top of the cycle and it's probably coming towards the end. Yeah. That wouldn't shock me at all. So overall, news, not really a big deal. And I do agree with you fundamentally at $500-$600 Solana is possible. In terms of taking profits, realistically, I'm a little bit more, I know I should take a little bit more because I was doing a lot of buying on Solana in double digits, low double digits. I didn't catch any of those, $10, $11 areas. I started buying a lot at $16, $17 once we got out of that beginning November push. And so I should take more, but I cannot imagine a world where Solana doesn't hit $300. And so until it does, that's just, I'm just really just holding.
I mean, one thing that I like to do is stuff like this, right? We're not sure where the top is. We're not sure where to take profits. You're never going to time the top, just like you're never going to time the bottom.
Yeah.
If you are in significant profits for Solana right now, which some of you might be, I am. And one thing that I do is when I see another opportunity that might not even be in crypto, right? It might be a building that I want to buy, not a whole building, but like an apartment that I want to buy, or maybe a whole building one day. But if I see that opportunity and I'm also massively up on a position, it doesn't need to be Solana, then I think it's a good idea for me anyway. Obviously it's not financial advice, but for me to take some of that profit that I already have. Yes, it might 5x from where we are right now, but also it might not.
Yeah.
This might be the end of the cycle. And if I did this is exactly what I did in the last bull run, and I didn't time the top perfectly. I actually sold my Solana too early in the last cycle, but I bought real world hard assets, and that sustained me throughout the bear market and actually gave me capital to re-inject in the market. So with that said, I want to say thank you to Tyler for being on the channel, but also I do want to let you guys know that, like we said at the start, we do have the Patreon open, and this is where I post my trades, right? This is what I'm doing in the market. I wouldn't advise anyone blindly follow me, but we have been making some really good trades. Just yesterday, right, we got involved in this degen meme coin, and since then we actually hit around 100x from the initial post, around a 7 or an 8x from the open market buy, and this has been absolutely printing money for the people in here. We also have the trades that I make. You can see the Ethereum trade. We shorted Ethereum at 3,500. We longed it pretty much at the bottom. So if you want to have access to that, the links are down there in the description, and all of the exchanges are also down there if you do want a place where you don't need to provide any personal detail in order to trade with leverage. With that said, hopefully we'll provide some value today, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, and Tyler's channel will be in the description if you want to check it out. Peace.